Before you continue, skip to minute 12 and 53 seconds. Right now, this image kind of looks like a fox, and so I've changed the ears slightly to make it more like a wolf. This will be the same color, darkness, as the top of the head. And then we'll add some darkness right inside the ear here. And right about here. So my lines can come out past that line just for a little bit of texture. And as I fill that in, it doesn't really matter what way my lines are going. And I'll just make it a little bit darker on this side. Like so. And then we can add a few light lines. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we have this round line around our face, but what we wanna do is we want to build up the side of his face. So starting at the edge of the ears, even if your line comes out to here like mine does, I'm gonna start at the edge of the ear and just kind of on a diagonal. My lines are on a diagonal. I'm gonna come just out from the ear just a little bit. So I'm starting at the corner of the ear and going down and making those broken up lines. Now, if you have a solid line, you're gonna first maybe want to erase that a little bit so it doesn't show through just as much. Okay, so on this side, I'll erase that a little bit. Now, starting at the corner of the ear, diagonal lines down. Maybe you want to lighten those lines up too. You're just going to come down to that point, and at the point they'll be kind of straight down, the lines, and then they're gonna, and they can be all kind of uneven lines, so they don't have to be straight. You don't want them like that, okay? So just short, kind of a scribble back and forth. Okay, so around the mouth, we're gonna make that a little bit thicker. And where it meets the jaw, so that point there, we're gonna make that just a little bit thicker black. We're gonna darken that up. And coming straight across at the bottom here, we'll add a line to the nose, and we can fill the nose in. So the nose is going to have nostrils. Okay, so we're gonna color it all the same. Now, just to add a little bit more detail around the nose, what we're going to do is we're going to color in those circles for the nostrils, and those are going to be really dark. Okay, and then on that side of the nose, it's going to be a darker line, and it's going to come up and curve around the nose. Okay, and then we want to make this side of the nose just a little bit darker. And we're going to curve so that this is basically like an oval on the top, right? And then I'm going to color below that. And so with my sticky tack, I can highlight that a little bit more. So I can take the sticky tack and just pull up in some of those areas. I had some issues with my recording, so it didn't quite catch me explaining this section here. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at the top of the ear, and you're going to add more coloring, making it darker, and you're going to come right along the side of his face here, and then we've extended it a little bit with some more lines on the side of his face there. Okay, and so that darkness comes all the way to his eye here. We've added some lines underneath as well as on the side. So if we continue that on this side, all we're going to do is add those lines. So my lines are going to curve this way. And then we want it a little bit darker over here. We'll start up at the ear. And then extending it just a little bit more. Okay, so that's that, and then we'll add some more hairs on this side. So this is where the HB, your pencil kit, comes in handy, because your HB can't quite get the dark tones and variations. If we really want to make this pop, what we could do is we could grab like a 5B, a 5B, And we can make some of these areas even darker. So if I'm just taking the 5B and adding a bit more darkness and depth. Just to finish this off, what we're going to do is we're actually still going to add a few more lines in between here. I'm a pretty messy drawer, so I like messy lines, but you can make that more smooth or even if you want it to. And we'll just add a few more lines in here too. And I think to tie this in all together, you can either use your hard pencil, again, your HB, or if you have a 5B or something like that, you can just come around the edges here and just highlighting some of that. There, and there is your wolf. All right, so as I am looking at this, I'm wondering if it is a fox or a wolf. I don't know. It looks like a fox to me. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna change the ears here. We work on fixing the fox. What we wanna make sure is that the ears come down in front. So if we looked at before, the head came right up in front. We erased that and brought the head back farther, pulled the ears down into his head as opposed to sitting right on top, so that the ears sit more inside the head as opposed to right on top. And we'll just come back and shade those in. And instead, we're going to, there's our ear. The fur kind of sits in front. Does that look more like a wolf? I hope so. All right, so if you want, you can also add maybe some darker lines in here to break up that white space. It's up to you. Okay? Thanks, guys.